Finishing my PhD at the University of Amsterdam, I also work for a company that develops automatic facial coding software called FaceReader. Why would you study facial expressions? I think, well, they say that 90% of what we communicate goes through nonverbals. That's perhaps not true. But for example, if you do the search on Google Scholar, there is over 10,000 studies with facial action coding system. For comparison, for example, the eye tracking studies, there are around 22,000. So it's quite popular, I would say. Here's an example of manual coding. This is the past. You are seeing here the past, I think. It's quite time-consuming. You also need to be trained. It takes a lot of time. It's quite difficult, etc. Here you can see myself using a virtual mirror. It's quite handy to see yourself when you are coding, and you can compare. Here's already an image which is coded. You can see codes at the bottom. Here I will code the new picture. On the left side you can see a neutral image for comparison, for contrast, for the target expression. As you can see, the material is quite easy to code, and even with such faces which are really exaggerated, etc., it takes some time. And also you can imagine one image, one video frame. So if you want to code the actual video with facial reactions, it takes some time. So the solution could be automatic facial coding. I use FaceReader 5, and then I gather my data on crowdsourcing platforms online with help of Amazon Mechanical Turk and Cloudflower. Here's another video which I hope will work. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So instead of explaining what the software does, I think this is the best visualization. On the left side you can see actual participant recorded in his home. On the right side you can see the advertisement which he was watching. At the bottom you can see the emotion classification of the software. Here we have a key moment at the scene, I think, and the software is picking it up and the person is reacting to. You can see how it works. It first detects the face, then it creates this superimposed mask, and this mask is classified into emotion categories. So I think the biggest insights, besides of course the research findings, is for business is this slide. So I think gathering data online, facial data, using crowdsourcing is quite cost effective. I calculated that for one video recording we paid around 60 cents in dollars, which is for an average experiment in psychology $150, which I think it's like 8 times cheaper than doing that experiment in the lab. And of course I think it's a big plus for many business and industry that you don't need expensive lab space and equipment. In universities usually have big labs. For a company maybe it's a problem. And then it's quite fast. You can the best which I could go was 30 participants per day, but of course if you have a couple of engineers working with you, you can scale it and also have data from different parts of the world. And what I like most is real life. So you can really test the advertisement where people consume them, which is the home houses and not the artificial environment. Okay, I think we are short on time, so thank you very much.